we're on air.
Oh god.
Well, are we actually on air or just recording?
No, it's a figure of speech.
Yeah. Well, because it actually says on air, but it's like
Yeah. Just means it's being recorded.
There's no place that it's actually being broadcast.
Yeah.
I like the title Icebreaker.
It's what it is. Because we're all
Go around the room. Gonna say
normally very icy cold people. So.
I'm amazed we're all available at the same time. How the hell did this happen?
Because we're not available. I'm dead. I'm
What time
secretly
is it?
dead.
What time is it in Australia now?
4 a.m.
What?
Yeah, I should have mentioned that. Props to this man for agreeing to appear not only once, but twice in a row at 4 a.m. If he says yes, I'm okay with it. But
I have strange sleep patterns.
I can't imagine why.
You Northern Hemisphere people, curse you!
Come join us! Be one of us.
Yeah, you gotta join us. Come up here.
I should.
yeah, we don't have as many poisonous snakes.
This is nice. I have great health care and plenty of space, so you should
Yeah,
all
but
just
you're
move
upside
here.
down right now.
I'm on the top of the world, I'll have you... No, all the maps are wrong.
Whatever, dude.
Oh god. I didn't
All
even
the maps
think
are
about
German.
that. I did not even realize that if
What?
that if he's standing up in Australia and I'm standing up here, then
We're foot to foot.
Yeah.
if we were put next to each other with our spatial relationship the same, we'd be standing in different directions. Oh fuck me.
Have you heard about
That's
the
why
Earth
Australia
sandwich
is the devil. It's
not.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it is.
god.
All our animals are the devil.
That's like the whole time zone thing, but like to a whole new level right there. Oh my god.
Have you heard about the Earth sandwich?
Future.
I
What
don't
they
know.
they're like the 20
Try to make an Earth.
8.
Have you heard about the people trying to make an Earth sandwich? It's like a challenge.
No.
Okay, basically it's you have to find land mass, right? Land masses that are directly antipodes of one another. So,
Right.
so where there's like New Zealand here and Great Britain here or something like that, and like people coordinate putting a piece of bread here and a piece of bread here to try and make Earth sandwich. It's harder than you
That
think
is
because
amazing.
I'm actually still not following at all.
well, what's an Earth sandwich? It's just take 2 slices of bread
Yeah.
and put the Earth in between, but it has to be perfectly antipodes.
You get kind of is it perpendicular or something to the point that the town
exact diametric
and to make two slices. Yeah, I get it.
I
Yes.
feel like if you took a bite into that sandwich, it's gonna slop out just everywhere.
It's just gooey and messy and hot. It's hot.
We never said how big these pieces of bread were, so maybe they're proportionately large.
Oh god.
I'm just adjusting my camera.
Why is it
Carry
that
on.
when I heard this, immediately my image in my head of the people putting the bread down is that they were like nailing it into the ground, and I don't know why. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why would you nail your bread? But that's immediately what I thought of.
Well, for one,
They're
I
just
don't know,
sucker
but for
for
some
pain.
strange reason, they went with the long loaf style. Instead, like not a
That's what
slice
I
of
thought.
bread.
That's actually what I imagined too. Was that it
Long
would be like a sub loaf.
But there's no way they actually did it. But there's no way of telling if they've got like the pieces just right. There's just no way of telling. So
Right.
the sandwich could be like a cross or something. It's just
Yeah, that
ridiculous.
was.
This is a big deal.
Use
by
a
the way.
round
Very
circle of
important.
bread, sir.
Yeah, they should definitely use or at least, well, yeah, I guess circular would be the only way to be sure. You'd have to because you just take the radius of the bread and make that the exact point that you mark.
Okay, so do I look like I'm talking to you, talking into the camera, or do I look like I'm looking at the screen right now?
Right now
You
you look
like your screen.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing good.
A little bit like the screen.
My webcam's kind of a little bit above. Like, okay, now I'm looking into the camera. Now I'm looking at you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just get it.
The key is to just be mindful of it and look at the camera when you're talking, as I've been doing.
Okay, that's gonna be. Yeah, I'm not used to that because I want to look at you guys when I'm talking.
Right.
But
The curse of Google Hangouts is that everyone's pictures are down there, but you're
it doesn't help that you're all so devilishly attractive.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, so what do you guys? I finished pretty much putting the finishing, not the finishing touches, but I put the major points in the episode outlines. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it, but what do you think?
It's pretty good. Let's talk about Klopp.
Right. When a mare and a stallion.
Exactly what I'm not going for.
Stop calling it Klopp, you morons! Do you know what Klopp is? Klopp is the onomatopoeic sound a fully shotted horse's hoof makes against a solid surface. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, cling,
I just like
cling,
to point out
cling.
that I
like
I
my
do have the power to mute.
Doesn't
anyone
really
here,
work for
you know,
genitals,
just
yeah.
like that. So now we
Oh,
can't
Lord.
hear Anthony. Yep, you're muted,
He's
bro. That's what you get. Okay, you're unmuted now. I'm actually just testing that out. Can we hear you? Okay.
Yes.
Can you? Okay.
Like, okay, son, yes, you can
I'll
hear
pull
me.
the plug if you do something
Not
like
saying
that.
anything, but I'm pretty sure.
Screaming into the mic.
Who is?
How
screaming?
is my audio breaking up at all? I've been told that sometimes this mic, like when I'm in a thing, it can fuck up.
It's been fine.
Yeah, so far you're good.
Cool.
Am I a little dark?
Yes, you are a little dark. And not just because you're
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I was like, who's gonna go there first?
Yeah, I know. I was like, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it, bro?
tapping the color out of the room. What time is it for you? Because it does look pretty dark for you.
Oh,
Just
for
open
me?
a window or something.
It's just gloomy. It's a rainy, like a gloomy day. So I'm just using my room light.
Not here. It is nice as hell. Oh my god. Did I like ghost off? Oh Jesus. That was just me opening the window briefly.
Now I'll just adjust the contrast or whatever. Is that fine?
You now look like someone turned the ISO on the camera all the way up.
It's this stupid bookcase that's blending into my skin. Oh, my door opened.
They just simultaneously.
Yeah, that was. What just happened?
That was weird as fuck.
That was like a door closed sandwich.
You guys don't even realize that you both did that at exactly the same time, right? And it was like really trippy looking because
Did
it was
what?
synchronized, like you planned it.
Did what?
Like,
You and Anthony just did the same
both
thing.
walked out and walked into each of the rooms.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it was.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
That was surreal. I hope keep this recording because I need
We made
this.
it. We made it sandwich. We made an earth sandwich.
You did. Oh god. Where are you at, Neal? Because that could be more accurate than you think.
Well, I'm in Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah, I don't think that's opposite Australia, but
It could be. I don't know.
what's
I'm not a
opposite?
geologist.
What's opposite
Future
Australia?
birthplace,
Like
okay.
Scandinavia or something? Okay, so have any of you guys? You said Clover and Anthony said you had some issues with Google. Is that all fine now?
It fills me with confidence.
Simple question.
I was actually suspended.
Freaking Google.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't like your name.
Oh, that's right. I heard someone else had the same problem. That's incredible.
Suspended. I'm not suspended, but I am inadvertently, exciting half of my fans with fake videos that don't go out because I
right.
don't know how to use it.
That was fun. You should have been there because it was like I saw it up for like a little bit and it said stream announcement, so I didn't click on it, right? And then I come in like it'd been up for like almost an hour, and I go in there and the chat room is just all these people going, "So when's it gonna start? Man, Tony needs to hurry up and start it. What's he doing, man?" And I'm just like, I go in and I'm like, this seems really unintentional. Like I don't
Yes.
think he planned this because. Like I said, it said stream schedule, but it didn't have a time or anything like that.
Yeah.
It just said starting soon, and I was like, guys, I don't think he means to do this. I
was testing it out for this. I was setting up for this, and
Right.
I made a fake announcement for a video that didn't happen, and like several hundred comments later, it's like, where is he? He's dead. I think he died.
Everyone's asking. It was so funny. Everyone was asking, oh, we should ask Brony Curious where he is. And then when I came in, they were like, Digi, ask Brony Curious where Anthony is. I was like, why the hell would he know any more than I would where Anthony is? We're both with, like, Skype contacts. Why would he know? He doesn't live with them. They're not...
Yeah, we do. Don't ruin that for everybody. Come on.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just.
you guys did one video together, and suddenly you're tied by the hip. Like
That's like 30. That's like 33% of Anthony's videos, though, when you think about it. God.
Ooh.
Zing! Yeah.
So is it actually Anthony, not Antony? Was I pronouncing it wrong this whole time?
Other way. I'm Anthony with a T. No
Oh, so
H.
Digibrony's wrong.
And I'm not saying Anthony. I just have been slurring when I say that.
For what reasons I would inquire.
I've had this problem since primary school. Nobody ever gets it right, and I don't care.
Like I noticed immediately when I first followed your videos. I was like, oh, Antony. Oh.
Well, I want to get straight, like, how you all want to be referred to. So, do you like being called Tony, or is it Anthony, or what do you prefer?
Anthony's probably better. Just yeah,
Okay.
for people who talk to me online and whatnot.
Right.
Okay.
I'm sure if Tony
Feel like
slips out, everyone will know who we're talking
Tony's okay as well. You can call me that. I
Oh.
call him Tony Pony or whatever.
Right,
Tony
that's what I thought. Yeah, Tony Pony was. Where is that your name on what DeviantArt or something? I remember seeing it.
I used it in one of my cartoons. And so Tony Pony finally left the Bronyhood.
I'm leaving this fandom.
I'm leaving this stupid fandom. I'm coming back to this stupid fandom.
Oh man.
So, Chris, what about you?
I mean, I don't really know because, I mean, Anthony, his name is his, like, handle.
Mhm.
So for me, it could be either. But if you are going to use...
It's particularly hard to say is the problem.
I'm comfortable with calling
Yeah.
you Chris. Are you okay with that? I mean,
Yeah, that's fine. Because, I mean, the thing is, I don't really have much contact with the fandom or with, like, I don't know, the
It's
online
perfectly fine.
community anyway.
that's perfectly
So just go
fine.
for it. Just go for it.
I'll introduce you at the beginning as your handle and everything, but I mean during the discussion we can refer to each other as whatever we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Right. I mean people will know. I mean there can be like captions or whatever in the eventual edited thing. So
Yeah, you're not going to have to say, like, yeah,
Yeah.
base number 3 or anything like that. So, yeah, it's good.
So so Digibrony, are you okay with Digi or Conrad or
Fine.
what do you
Everyone
prefer?
calls me Digi. If you call me
Digi.
Conrad, no one will know who you're talking about. So
Okay.
Digi. I feel I don't know. It's weird for me. I've always been like, even when I go to cons and stuff, I expect to be called Digi more than Conrad, and I guess I'm just in the mindset of being Digi when I'm online or something. So I'm much more used to that. The hardest one is fucking Brony Curious over there because his name's hard to say, so you just kind of call him Tom in conversation. But it's like, oh, well, everyone knows his name is Tom.
I was
so what do we
thinking
call
about
him?
this. I was thinking about this, Rowan Curious. Like, if you take the first syllable or whatever of each, like, of the halves of your name, you get bro and Q, right? So you could actually turn into a Japanese thing where it's like ni
Oh.
9 or something, and that actually kind of rhymes and has the ni in it. So it's, I don't know, it sucks, but it's better than pronouncing your full name every single time, or just calling you BC, because BC can mean anything.
PC.
Right, I've been
Yes,
calling him
yes,
BC
1,
a
2,
lot
3.
too, but
Well, I'm just honored that Digi named his album after me.
right,
Made me feel good. We have the
unintentional, completely
connection.
unintentional.
He says that, but it's just subconscious. There's a difference.
So anyone else think that Chris's microphone just there was a little loud? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had to turn the volume.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll alter it.
If you can
Clover's
just
a little
like turn
quieter
a little
than
down.
everyone else, actually. So you
I
might-
think I talked about the glitch in Google Hangouts where sometimes your mic volume will automatically be raised to the maximum.
Yeah, I did
You
that
might be
actually. I changed the registry thing. It was like
Okay.
15, and I changed that to 1. So what I
Yeah.
gotta do is figure out if that's happening again.
Yeah, sometimes it happens again and you have to do it again to the registry fix again.
How about my little...
Actually, you're sort of breaking up right now.
Oh.
I think it was just lag or something.
Test.
Okay, it seems okay.
Peter
Yeah.
Pepper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Okay, it's better now.
You're good, man.
So,
Yeah, it's
hello
just-
everyone.
Hello.
I don't know some of you.
Well, as for me, Neal is fine.
Neal?
I sort of avoid. Yeah,
Okay.
Neal. Tried to avoid the problem by just having the same handle. So, Brony Curious, you want to be?
You can just call me
Tom or-
Tom.
Tom?
Tommy. That's fine. I mean, Brony Curious was not supposed to be my name initially. It was supposed to be like a title for a blog, and then
That's what I
Oh,
thought.
okay.
I was actually explaining that to someone yesterday who was asking, like, what was the deal with your name? And I was like, I thought the idea was that it was supposed to be, if you are Brony Curious, you would watch your videos, because the idea is that you were trying to convert people to being Bronies early
yeah.
on.
And then
And it just kind of became a title.
I went to BronyCon, and then Saber started calling me Brony Curious, and that was the first time anyone ever said that. I was like, what the fuck? But apparently
He
everybody
just
does
coined
now,
that.
so.
He just gave you that name out of nowhere.
It's just like everybody has that inclination, and he was just the first person to do it in real life to my face. So,
Right.
So you were at the first BronyCon.
no, I was at the one last year,
Oh,
the
okay.
summer one, 2012.
Oh, okay. I actually thought of that as the first one, but I forgot there was one before that, right?
Yeah, there were a few, I think.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was one and
There's been
two in
3 so
2011.
far, I think.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
The first one was
The original
essentially
was
a
like-
glorified meetup. It was like 100
The original
people
was in
there.
like a really tiny venue, I believe, and then it was like the demand so much exceeded what they got that they like ballooned it much bigger each subsequent year. To the
How many
point
of you
that now
guys? Sorry, how many of you guys have been to cons?
I've been
Like
to a bunch of
BronyCons?
Rotocons.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been to any. Are there any in
Plans for
Australia?
me to go.
No.
More
I'll
reasons
say it
to
again,
stop being
Clover.
upside down.
What did you say, Clover? I didn't catch what you said.
There's just there's none in Hungary, as I recall.
Oh, okay.
Like the Brony community is virtually kind of non-existent. I don't know. There's a couple in Europe, but
There's Buck in the UK, right?
Hmm?
Buck in the
The one
UK.
in-
yeah, I was thinking about maybe going, but you work and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always a pain.
Okay, so Clover, do you want to be referred to as Chloe or?
So
Clover?
yeah, I mean, guys, I'll tell you, like, Clover is not actually my real name, as you must have guessed. But
I caught that.
my real name is Jofia or Jofi, but I would just not expect anyone to be able to pronounce that, especially that it's spelled with a ZS at the beginning, so it would just be a total mess. So yeah, I guess, you know, when you introduce, like, Clover Keen is fine, and then just everyone just refers to me as Chloe. So
All right.
that's the easiest.
Down with that.
probably.
Easy enough for me. I always call people by their internet handles, even when they don't want me
Internet
to.
handles. It's my internet handle.
Yes.
Sorry, I like that.
Very fancy. Yeah. Yes. Here on the internet, we are
Your
very
avatar.
fancy. Our avatars and internet handles. Yes.
Yeah. Why, you sound like Biter with your British accent. Brody here.
Damn it.
Tommy, I mean.
Equestria Girls was just not good. Just
Not
horrible.
You'd have to have more of a, not good.
I watched it on the someone's
The bootleg.
theater recording.
Everyone seems to have watched the bootleg.
So there is already a bootleg out. I
God,
did.
I'm paying for this.
There are a multitude of bootlegs. So
Which did you get the
NSA's
three?
listening. we don't want to say that too loud.
Did you watch it,
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I
Oh, no spoilers. No spoilers.
no,
Just,
no,
like,
no.
go out of the room.
First of all, am I too loud? Because I don't want to start ranting or anything.
You sound fine to me.
Okay.
yeah, I'm good with it.
So my issue with the film was that like I knew it was just gonna be screwing around and having a good time. So I just wanted them to mix up the genre they were using a bit, and they didn't. It was just so I don't know, Sweet Valley High, and I was just like, I don't know.
I'm getting a
I
little
think
bit
my
of
problem
like,
is just
sorry, I'm getting a little bit of ambient, like there's like a squeaking noise going on. I don't know if anyone can hear that, or if it's just there's like a little beeping or like really quiet.
yeah, I hear it.
It sort of sounds like a supermarket checkout. Can
I
anyone
hear
hear
it
that?
too.
Or is it...
Yeah, I hear it as well.
Okay.
I don't
It could be just a result of the hangout. I mean, does someone have like a fan going or something echoing? And...
I hear my computer's gotten loud, but I don't know.
I
if
could take off
can
my
like
headphones
what
and
you're
check.
describing.
It's not super distracting, but I'll check the recording and see if it's on there.
Not even my bird. My bird is being extra cool today. Oh, now she knows
that-
what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I heard that.
She's like, "You're talking about me?"
That's kind of amazing, actually.
if I mute myself, it'll just go away.
No, it's
Right.
still
No,
there.
it's still there.
Still that.
Let me try.
It's not me.
It is gone. It is gone right now.
Yeah. It's all Digit's fault.
Yeah, it's because my computer got much louder as a result of trying to run this chat as well as like Vegas and Skype and Audacity and Paint and Photoshop.
Well, has
So,
it?
so what you're saying is it's Steam coming out of your computer.
Huh?
It's Steam coming out of your computer. In other
I
words.
mean,
Yeah.
do you just have a loud computer or?
It's just I'm running like 8 programs at once, so
You should
like,
run
it's,
like one program.
it's starting to get pissed at me.
So the sound's actually just coming through your mic of that beeping. or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
just coming from the the computer is going, and my mic is.
Put a towel over it or something.
Can you move the computer away?
No, it's quite large.
Oh, okay. I thought you could move like the actual.
Like, how's
Like-
that? Now that I've moved the mic a little bit.
Well, it
Might
doesn't make that
also
sound all the
be-
time. Or...
Like,
I have no
it
idea
might
what
be
anything's doing
designed
right now,
to be
but I'm
air conditioning sound. I don't know. Yeah, the computer definitely picked up steam. I mean, this would not happen in any other circumstance because I wouldn't be editing video at the same time as doing this. So,
Okay, it's just from that.
right. I literally got like 8 programs open right now, and it's like.
All right, if it's just because of that, that's fine.
But yeah, the thing about Equestria Girls for me was like, it felt to me like they were trying to do all the magical mystery cure stuff, but like it wasn't as intentional. Like in Magical Mystery Cure, in the first scene, there's like this whole sense of like the natural order is great, the social order is great, and then the cosmic order is total crap because all the destinies are switched. So that's a thematic thing that they did well, but they didn't really pull off that kind of stuff in Equestria Girls. So I was just like, okay, so I can't have fun because it's not as interesting. Or it's cool to see. It's cool to see. I'm talking about plot. It's cool to see the characters be themselves, I guess, differently, like as humans. But
You just. You're
the-
literally like, well, the thematic depth is not on this like incredible scale, so I just couldn't have fun. I mean,
I knew it wasn't gonna. And also, like the thing about like the gap between the human and the pony was what I felt like drew a lot of people into the original. Like, wow, I didn't know ponies could do that. Like, oh yeah, they're cartoon ponies. Of course they can.
Thank you.
But now it's
Thank
like
you.
they actually are human.
We've
So
realized
all
they're
the-
cartoon ponies.
Yeah, all the
This is
references to
separate.
their humanity are just like not there because they are human. So it's like I don't know. It's like that gap between the human and the pony is like weird now. You know, they just. But like I said, there are ways to have fun with it. I haven't found them yet, so to speak. So maybe I should wait till it comes out on DVD. But
Here's what
was
they
like
needed to do.
the plot was yeah.
They needed to have. They needed. It should have been like that. Twilight Sparkle and Spike go through the portal, and instead it's like
We don't want to spoil it. for
Human
Clover. I think
Spike.
you said
and Twilight Sparkle is a dog or something like that. Then you've got.
Yeah, we know that from the trailer,
watched
right?
yeah. Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but I did enjoy it. I mean, there was a lot of things in it that I enjoyed.
Right.
So I mean,
I was spoiled for it before it came out, so you don't have to worry about me. But I don't think Clover wants the spoilers.
yeah. So what about the? We talked last time we had one of these hangouts about Brony Chronicles. Now it's out. I haven't actually seen it all. I just watched like the first 15 minutes.
Of what?
Brony Chronicles.
Chronicles, right?
Do you
You
guys
didn't
know?
watch
what
the
I'm
whole thing. You just watched the beginning.
Yeah.
Teaser.
It's only an hour, man. Come on.
I didn't have time.
Get it together. Get it
Bro
together.
Curious is in it.
I actually saw his part, or like one of his parts.
I personally, since we don't know the whole like what it's all gonna look like, and there's supposedly this huge sociology segment, we can't decide. But I was like, First of all, the guy's voice was just not sexy enough. Like, if you're gonna do like have a commentator to give you history and stuff, you may get some Morgan Freeman or like something really nice, you know.
The worst thing about it was definitely
Get Anthony C, man. I'm gonna get someone, yo. Like, have someone do that. Like, you gotta get the nice voice.
When it came out, I was talking to this guy DJ Calcos, and he just immediately was like, "Oh my god, his diction is awful." He's like, "Somebody give me the script, I'll dub over it." And I was like, "Well, actually," because I also thought the script probably could have been rewritten because there was a lot of like just kind of repetitive wording and stuff and just phrasing that I didn't really like, and then his delivery also didn't help. But I mean, the fact that I got past that and still finished it speaks to how well it was edited, at least, you know.
Yeah.
But like,
it was very well done.
although it's also possible that I, wanted to finish it because I was hyped and everything, but because I knew everything in that, like, it didn't teach me anything I didn't know. But then again,
Right.
that's because I've watched a lot of other stuff like this,
Right.
Like, I was familiar with the whole history of the show because that dude from That Guy with the Glasses had already done this epic retrospective on the show.
Really, he did. I didn't know that.
Yeah, CR.
Yeah,
I
CR, who used to be known for being a Pony fan, but then he hated Magical Mystery Cure so much that he literally left the fandom and like just was
Really?
a total ass about
What?
it.
That happens?
The guy with the
Yeah.
glasses left the fandom because of Magical Mystery Cure.
Not that guy with the glasses, but a guy from That Guy with the Glasses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Chad
Rocco,
Rossi, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty well known, especially because he was the guy who he was the only one there who was really covering Pony in any way, and I guess he flipped shit. He didn't do a whole video about it, but like on his Tumblr, he was extremely vocally hated it. Just was like absolutely against Magical Mystery Cure, and I believe he officially left the fandom.
It's
Which
just
is
so
kind of
funny.
weird.
The fandom. You
Dude,
spend 8
dude.
months making an excoriating review. You don't leave.
So he loves.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously contradicting himself to some extent. So I mean, he's gonna put in that much energy to hate something.
He'll come
It means
across
you're
that.
not indifferent. It means you're not indifferent. So
Right.
you
I just
know,
find it
had
funny how
friends who
someone
left.
can be like 22 minutes just completely invalidated.
I know,
aware
everything-
of my
everything
life.
else.
You know,
Right.
like
It was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
It's kind of hard to like the show when it does dippy, silly things.
yeah. I
Like,
mean,
come on, what is this? And then there's that massive excuse that everyone uses, that the catch-all excuse. I believe
for
Brony
little
Curious has the
girls.
perfect answer for that. It's just a little girl show, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, okay, why are you watching it?
Right.
yeah.
What? It's no excuse, my friend.
Hmm.
But
I mean,
Well,
the
I-
thing is,
like-
it isn't.
really
It
liked
isn't
it, so-
really.
Just putting
It
that
seems
out
like the
there.
writers use that excuse. You know, the writers themselves. It's like,
And the thing is, too, if it was for little girls, they wouldn't need all the references to adults. Like even the
yeah, we
fact
got
that
Big
like.
Lebowski. We got Big Lebowski
Yeah,
references.
yeah.
and stuff.
Like,
well,
obviously, there's some sense of an implied audience that's like
Well-
older than 6-year-olds.
To
So
be fair, the Big Lebowski reference was like put in by the animators as just kind of the thing to amuse themselves. And it
And
wasn't like,
isn't
Here's
that
the
just
thing.
like, dude, come on.
well,
Yeah.
well, we were Anthony. We talked about this, and the way
Yes.
that I had summarized it was that okay, so you have people who are saying it's a show for little kids, but at the same time, to a detractor, they'll say no, it transcends the target audience. It's better.
you can't have it
So-
both ways. Yeah, you can't have it both ways.
Either A, it is better than it either transcends the target demographic and should be judged as a work that transcends the target demographic and is a piece of all ages media, or it is for little kids who have bad taste apparently, and Fox was right and we're all pedophiles. So
wait. Why can't it be a mix of things that are sort of childish and for little kids and things that aren't? I mean,
because
Because 30
the
years
reason that
ago,
you're there
late great
first
Jim
place-
Henson made a family-friendly show that transcended all genres and was appealed to everyone,
Yeah.
even world-weary sensibilities, and without
That's-
compromising integrity.
That's a little bit like saying, freaking out over the difference between high art and low art or something, right? Like, it's just different now.
No,
Everyone
not saying
can
high art,
throw
but it
stuff
is.
together and make something for a whole bunch of different people. So to say that, like, it's got to be a mix. I get what you're saying, though, Anthony, because it's like, I do feel like there's a sense in which you got to pick one side. You can't just I don't know. I feel like people are fixating on a lot of the wrong questions with this fandom anyway. So I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So about that,
No.
I actually had some questions. So like about the way that these discussions are going to work. I mean, just to right off the bat, I'd like to say it's going to be a little different than what we're doing right now, and I think we all understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
This sort of back and forth, like arguing,
Yeah, more
kind of
structured.
essentially.
Is bickering like old women.
Yeah, right. I
You
mean,
mean it's
guys
not
all-
gonna be?
You guys all get that it's going to be a
Damn it.
little bit more restrained, I guess I would say. And
Well,
you guys all get that.
we're not talking for anyone in particular, but yeah, I understand. Like when we have the show, we'll be thinking of the listeners, right? So
Yeah.
we want to. I mean, the most conflict I think anyone has to have or tension is just like, you know, I would complicate your point by adding this point to it. You know, you don't have to like, you know, go all out. So.
Or
Yeah,
I
I think
have a
we'll be
different
okay.
opinion. You know, I just
Yeah.
say I have a little different opinion. I think this.
And here's my 10-point rebuttal as to why you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do want to avoid like direct like I disagree with you completely and
Yeah.
just
I
sort
don't
of like
think we'll
talking
get
over
too much of
people.
that. I haven't experienced too much of that in general, except for with the guy Biter, who is the only person who's just disagreeable. But most of us are pretty agreeable with one another. I think it helps that, at least amongst the 5 of us, excluding you, Neal, we all probably know each other's opinions pretty decently. Clover hasn't put out like a ton of videos that we would know like everything she thinks, but for the most part, we've all sort of watched each other's stuff, are familiar with each other's ideologies and stuff. Obviously, me and Brony Curious talk all the time. Chris has been reading my posts on Pony from way before I was making videos, so he extremely knows exactly where I'm coming from. So, yeah, that helps a lot. It also is why we have to be careful not to go over the heads of the audience, because, like, especially with me and Chris, we sometimes will just, like, go into this other realm of, like,
Yeah.
like
Meta,
saying things that only the
I-
two of us
The
would
land of
get.
meta.
I
Sorry,
completely agree.
I think I have to do something with the
Go
bird.
ahead. Go ahead.
She's getting a bit, yeah.
But on that, yeah, I think you're both right. What I want you all to sort of back up and rewind and sort of
Right. You've glitched, Neal. You froze up.
Oh man.
approach it fresh. Approach it fresh. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that, but I mean,
No, we can. I mean, for example, right? Like one thing to avoid conflicts over EPs, I think we're just gonna have to like try to figure out what not what the writers are doing in the intent sense, but just like their patterns and what they tend to do, rather than like getting lost in our own opinions, because then that might cause us to like, I don't know,
It's
conflict
kinda
a little bit too
make
weirdly
sure,
over
like,
stuff.
you stop yourself before going on a tangent. It's basically
Yeah.
the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Just be like as soon as you realize, to say something like, although that episode sucks, but that's besides the point, and then move on.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah, get a little passive-aggressive points in, you know.
Yeah.
There are ways, Neal, there are ways to avoid this, is what I'm saying. I agree.
Yeah.
We'll do what we can to avoid
Don't
it.
Yeah, so please do.
conflict.
Like I know like a lot of you guys are reviewers. You do a lot of analysis. You do a lot of review. So you have a tendency to put a lot of editorial into what you say. So
Oh, yeah.
just remember to like back off from that a little bit and just concentrate on the questions that I'm putting forward for discussion.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think you guys will do fine because you're just concentrate on that and try to forget the fact that you guys have done all this analysis and all this other stuff, because think of the audience as people who they're probably going to be bronies, but they're not going to have all this analysis in their heads. So think of
That's
it
one of
as
my
almost a casual
specialties.
audience. Yeah, that is one of your specialties. That's why I think I asked a lot of you, because you know how to present it to an audience like that. Right. Did the sound cut out?
No, not for
That's
me.
No, we're good.
Okay. All right, so you all get that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not particularly worried, Neal. I mean, I really do think that everyone's gonna like really work hard to get a good product, and if everything deteriorates into argument, it's not gonna be good for you or for us or anything. So
Yeah. Great.
it's lose-lose. So we want to work with you on that.
Okay. It's just, you know, I mean, I know the way you guys talk to each other because you know each other and you have done a lot of analysis. It's going to be different from what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So incidentally, are you guys all okay with doing a recording tomorrow for the first episode, or do you want more time? Or
Oh, is that what we're doing? Who's all in that one?
I think everyone except Chris.
Everyone except me. Yeah.
Should be good.
Is anybody else? There's no like special guest or anything like that. It's just,
not at this point. Now, what I had planned was, like, the first episode's going to be important to see, like, how it works, how it goes.
Right.
And what I was thinking of doing is maybe, if it's good, showing it to some people and seeing what they think, specifically Final Draft.
Right.
And I want to see if I can get him in the second episode, if he's got time. You know, I would have invited him to this, honestly, but he's, I think, at Fiesta Equestria right now.
Right.
He's in Houston.
He's
always
is Final Draft.
Okay, sorry. He's the broadcast head of and CEO of Everfree Network. Do you know Everfree Network?
Vaguely.
Yeah,
Rivals of Equestria Daily, basically.
They're a fandom news organization that does a lot of broadcasting from conventions and interviews with the cast.
Oh, right, yeah, I heard the Tab of the St. Germain interview. That was cool.
Okay, yeah. They're the ones who do all those. And I put them in the suggested sources, actually, for, like, if you want to check out some interviews with voice actors or writers, it's a good place to go.
Right.
Wouldn't it be awesome? Well, I guess we'd be avoiding, like, getting actual VAs and staff, right? Because we want to have this be a bottom-up sort of thing. So.
Yeah, and
we want to cut their legs out from underneath them. We don't want them
it's
screaming at us.
Partly it's feasibility. I don't think it's it'd just be kind of a pain to try and arrange. And secondly, there's been so much interviewing of them at conventions, right. And the insights that the people who work on the show can provide are honestly limited. Right. I've come to the conclusion.
They know.
Yeah, they're not like us. They don't spend their time thinking about this. So really, what are they?
Clearly, don't get it.
I'm trying to be nice about it.
More importantly, there's some stuff they just can't say or talk about.
Yeah, that too.
And I mean, on top of that, like, because I was talking with Paleo about this yesterday, saying how, like, when you're so tied with the staff like that, like, you kind of have to censor yourself, you know?
Right. That's the whole essence of what Everfree Network is. Why it's very restrictive about stuff like that. There's no swearing in their shows. They the reason that they won't partner up with websites like Equestria Daily and Celestia Radio is that those stations or networks or whatever are much more lax about that kind of thing. There's a lot more of the, you know, whatever, it's just kind of post whatever we want, and Final Draft thinks that would damage the relationship that Everfree Network has with the staff of the show, which is why he doesn't like having that stuff.
Yeah, and so the reason, if I did have him on the second episode, it would just be to talk about his experiences. You know, not to get him to dish, like, or editorialize, but just because he's had so much experience with the show staff and at conventions that I just thought he would be nice to have to talk about his experiences.
Yeah. Would it be a bad idea to, well, it's too late now probably, but would it also be a bad idea to get Sophisto on?
I haven't considered that. I mean, I don't. I asked you guys because you are all people who review the show and analyze the show, and so I felt safe asking you guys because this is going to be a thoughtful look at the show.
Yeah, I think Final Draft is a lot better for that than Sophisto, where he is not much of an analytical thinker. From my experience talking to him, he's much more of a just, this is cool, let's. You know, like, I like this, you know, not so much a, like...
Yeah, I don't know Sophisto. I don't know anything about him, really, but I know Final Draft pretty well from watching all of the EFN interviews and stuff. Like, I know his style. He's a classics major. You know, he's got social science experience, too, so he was a debate guy, so he can handle himself in a discussion fine. I mean, just got a little bit of echo. I'm getting some echo from me. Is that?
Yeah, I hear it too.
Is it one particular person?
It's just. Okay, it's gone now. I think.
Okay.
It's gone.
Might have been a momentary thing.
Is it back?
Yep.
Is it? Testing.
No.
No, I don't.
I don't hear it. No.
No.
It's just that fax machine sound still.
Yeah.
Sounds like a dot matrix printer from back in the day.
Oh man.
It was just a lot of like right at this particular moment there happens to be a lot of just ambience happening in my room, it seems.
Okay, just one more thing, like the Google Doc. I would really recommend you guys all read it completely through at least once, because like everything I put in there, I mean, a lot of it might be redundant, a lot of it might be stuff you don't need to know, but I would recommend reading it all the way through at least once. Just so
Have you changed anything from the first two parts?
From the first two parts, a little bit. I might have added like a couple of sources, like suggested sources, or something like that. And I just did a summary for the last two episodes like an hour ago, so it's like all the episode stuff is up there.
Neal, could I ask how much editing are you intending to put into it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd like to do what my abilities and time allow for, honestly. You know, I've got about until the end of the summer before I'm really busy again with school. And what I'd like to do is have at least something like a nice intro and maybe like an introductory narration, probably that I would do, and a nice outro, just a nice bookend to it. And also, if we like reference things like other TV shows, other scenes that happen in the show, I might think about doing something like putting in those scenes, you know, that kind of thing. You see what I'm saying? Like a mashup style thing. I think that's within what I can do. Other than that, you know, it's just kind of like how it goes and how good it is and what we can do. Like, I mean, I'm open to doing as much as I can, but for now,
if something goes wrong at some point in the middle of recording, you can always just cut little bits of it out without having to like scissor the whole thing down.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you kind of?
What's he doing?
What?
Sorry, just Anthony was making these faces. I was like, oh.
No, not what.
Sorry.
So what do you guys think? I mean, if you're curious about that, but like, right, so to summarize, I just like a nice intro, a nice outro, maybe some music, and like cutting in video clips or sound clips from what we talk about.
I
All right, you
think
start with the
video
yakety
clips-
sax.
I think the video clips and stuff like that would be a good idea, because otherwise it's just going to get boring.
Yes.
What we don't want to do is we don't want this to be just accessible for the hardcore bronies. I don't even know if I'm one of them.
I don't think I am.
So you know, I guess you'd want to keep it being interesting and keep it like going with stuff so that people will be inclined to keep watching it. And you know, Digi, you usually say that in your videos that you just need something to sort of look at.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have this sort of mix, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I'll be honest, I'm open to your guys' help as well. Like I'll be honest, if it's good and if we can all agree that it's something that deserves some editing, if you guys have talent or skill or time to contribute to it, I would welcome it.
Right. I'm sure if it does come out that good, and
Anthony, what are you doing? You're like making facial expressions that are.
My eyebrows are your disposal.
You constantly look like you're amused at what I'm saying, which is unnerving.
Oh no. Always.
Like, who is this Joker? Who does he think he's?
anyways,
Fuck.
Is video quality gonna be a thing? Like high quality 720p HD stuff, or because I mean that would mean I'd have to get another webcam, which I'm fine with, but I don't know. Like
I suggested that in the Google Doc. I got a new webcam for like $9 because my computer default one is really terrible. Like it's just really washed out. So
I think we all look pretty good, and I've got us up at like 720p right now, and we all look pretty fine to me. I don't know if I look fine. I know my frame rate is kind of shit, but
yeah, the frame rate I think looks kind of bad, but that could be just delay from the internet connection. The actual video might look better. I don't know.
it might. I mean, like
all the webcams to me look pretty pixelated, and like the weird thing is like yours looks your footage of yourself looks a lot better than everyone else's because yours isn't being streamed. It's like local. So like my preview looks friggin' baller, but everyone else looks really compressed. but I'm sure it's the opposite for everybody else.
Oh,
like,
is that what it is? Is that why I look so good in my like,
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there going, God, why do I look so fucking fantastic on this shitty camera?
So you look just the same as everybody else to everyone else.
Everyone looks pretty decent to me though, like right now.
Yeah, I think
None of it's like something I wouldn't watch.
Oh, stop it, you.
But I mean,
It's probably capturing at high rates. And
It
high
helps that you're all
resolution.
ridiculously good looking, so
No.
Thank you.
Right back at ya.
We're just gonna make that a thing for every episode. We're gonna refer to ourselves as extremely good looking.
I can't help it.
Gotta flaunt it.
I'm just really conceited, okay?
Or in denial, one of the two.
oh,
Look at the Guy Fawkes going there.
No, like I was saying, like I shouldn't, like I would not, if this was at any other angle where you're like looking at me head on or something, it's like suddenly all, whatever appeal there was.
There's
gone.
actually a term
It's
for that.
above, and it's like, oh, hey.
There's like an internet like slang for that, like when people like take webcam photos of themselves to look flattering. I forgot what it is.
Well, the idea is that you hold, when you're from a downward angle, everyone looks better. That's why whenever you see, like,
Right.
book pictures, it's always an above shot.
Yeah.
So sexy, Anthony. So
you're trying.
Anthony's
but it's
testing
not
the
working.
reverse.
You can't make yourself look
Oh
more
no.
attractive, sir. That's an attractive nostril right there.
Look at me from the side. I look different to you.
You look beautiful.
You always say that, but then
He's not like apparently by Australian standards, he's a lot less beautiful than he is to everyone else because I guess there's just a lot of beautiful people in Australia.
What?
This is what I've heard from
I've heard
other
this. I've heard
Australians.
this too.
it's oh yeah. Well, from the neck down, yeah, maybe. Right. I have a tiny little head. I have a Hugh Jackman problem. There's a tiny little head and it's gangly, long, grain of rice.
I have a fairly large head. Especially
Yeah,
from
I
this side.
have the opposite problem, Anthony.
Your head's small.
Oh, big heads are cute. Big heads are nice. At least you get something to stick a hat on, and I just like,
Something to keep the brain in.
yeah.
So what do you guys? How do you guys feel about the rule on swearing and keeping that to a minimum? You okay with that?
I'm opposed. I'm damned opposed. Damn.
No.
No.
I think we're gonna get along well. Art.
I think
Fine.
the only real freedom that any of us has is like we're protected when we do art because criticism is a kind of art. But if we're just doing a video asking opinions and analysis, I don't really know if we can say, well, no, I've got the right to swear as much as I want. So I don't know. We'll figure out a way to
You tell that to
swear
Yahtzee.
less. Frickin' Yahtzee.
Swearing ninja for hire.
Well, I
There was
mean,
something on Reddit about him recently.
this is your production, you know. So, like, if you
Yeah.
want to have it for a general audience, regardless of age, then yeah, we have to abide by that. So,
Mm.
even
Yeah, I
if I
mean-
want to swear like a sailor, it's not my decision anymore.
You know, I mean, I saw a comment like on one of your videos, Digi, about that because I mean, some guy told you it's like I want to show my kid this, but
Right.
There's
That was
swearing.
what spurned my video. Have you seen? I made a video about
I saw that.
swearing,
Yeah.
why I do it, and that was what spurned it. Was the guy saying he wanted to show his videos to my kid, and I was just, I was like, my videos aren't really made for your kid. If your kid is not old enough to handle
They're
swearing,
not even going to understand the other words you're using.
exactly.
Mhm.
That's exactly the point of the video I made. Was just I don't insult the intelligence of my audience. I don't assume that they are children. I assume that they are able to handle all these big words that I use. So if they can't, I'm not saying that kids shouldn't hear swearing because I'm all for kids hearing swearing. I'm just saying that if your kid has the intellectual maturity to hear a phrase like intellectual maturity and can't handle swearing, then there's a problem here, you know.
There's also, you know, the whole YouTube being 13 to use it thing, but you know that works too. Yeah,
whichever follows.
That's a great argument, DG. That's a great argument.
But yeah, I mean, so basically, try to keep it out. But if it slips in,
Yeah.
it's not at the end of the world, and I might
Yeah.
like bleep it over in editing or something like that.
Yeah.
Sweetie Belle censors.
Yeah,
Bleep,
I love that.
bleep us
bit.
out.
Yeah.
Just bleep,
That's
everybody
not a
just
word.
Buy some
bleep
apples.
us out.
That's not
Bleeping
a
out is
word.
Honey.
Digi, that's not a word.
That's not a word. Even I got confused when I was listening to that podcast, and it just kept cutting out to go, that's not a word, and I'm like, oh, this is my fault. They told me, like, yeah, so we don't do swearing in this one, and I was like, oh, is it a big deal? And they were like, no, it'll be fine, we'll censor it, and then I just, like, you listen to the podcast, and it's, like, constant censoring. Like, at times where they had to put it, like, 3 times in a row, like, because, like, I said a whole phrase of swear words or something, and every time I'm just like, oh, did I just do that again? I'm sorry, guys.
So what do you guys think about the assignments for who's going to be in what episode? I know 2 of you had... I want to be clear that, like, the only reason I said it to 3 of you plus me is because I didn't know whether 4 would be enough or 5 would be too much or what. So, first episode, we'll see how it goes, and if 5 people work fine, then we'll do 5 people. So,
Yeah.
is that all right with everyone?
Because I'll be sad if I don't get to do the, what was it, the feminism episode that I was left out?
It's not only feminism, but yeah, it's about stereotypes. And...
Yeah, I'd be sad if I couldn't do that.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll try to include as many of you as possible.
Like I said, as things stand, like, if I'm not in the first 3, like, you guys are all good, because, like, 5 people should be nice. And Neal, like, you're kind of on the outside of the fandom, you said last time, right? And, it won't be too much derailing, because you'll be just one person who's like, oh, that's interesting, here's my experience as someone from, who doesn't engage with this so much, So I think you guys are good, but if 5 turns out to be too many, then, you might have to cut one more person out or something.
6 I think is going to be too many. But,
yeah, agreed.
And also there's the coordination issue, because if we have both Anthony and Chloe in the same episode, you're going to have to be getting up at 4 a.m. again.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ask you to do that. So yeah, I think it'll work fine. With 5, but any other questions or concerns? Anything at all?
No.
Like topics or what's going to be covered or?
I could check the thing again, but
yeah, please read it. Like please, especially the episode outline, but everything else is a good thing to give a skim to or a once over to.
Right.
And watch ambient noise and. Things that could cause like distractions, like your birds, Chloe. I don't know.
How well can you hear the bird now? Like
I can hear it. Yeah.
All right, because now she's in the kitchen, but I can sort of put her in the toilet.
I mean, I'm not. Don't like.
What?
Don't like stuff her in a sock or something.
Like
she's gone to a better place.
Like I don't flush her down the toilet.
Oh, good.
But no, I usually cover her cage and like put her in the toilet, and then she thinks it's nighttime anyway. Kind of.
All right. I mean, if it happens, it happens. It's
I'm
not
a
the end of the
terrible
world.
pet owner. I don't know why she still likes me.
And anything like phones. So be careful about like phones ringing or.
My phone's been dead for like a month, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. See if I have anything else in notes or anything. Oh yeah, like everything I put in the episode outlines. I mean, there's a lot of topics in there, and some of them can seem really broad. So like, there will be a topic under the that's like talk about the role of gender roles in society or something like that, and that's obviously a huge topic. But don't worry about that. It's just we're going to talk about it to the extent that we need to talk about it. And all those topics in there, we're going to cover them however the conversation goes. Mm-hmm. So I just put them in there just to note that we're going to be probably talking about them at least a little bit. But I'm not really saying how much we're going to talk about them.
Right.
That's up to how the conversation goes and how much time we have.
How long did you say you wanted these shows to be? Was it an hour?
About an hour. If it goes over an hour, that's fine, but not too much over an hour, because I don't think people are going to listen.
Don't we want to kind of shoot more material though? Because if stuff.
Yeah, you are looking at a lot of stuff, so.
Okay, well.
We might as well make it longer, and then you can always just edit it, and then you can condense it a bit. and just get the interesting bits.
Okay.
And remember how last time we spoke, I talked about targeting questions, right? Like if you target the questions, I think we can balance the generality of some of the stuff with, you know, like I said, don't ask leading questions because then it's fake. But then if you are able to, on the other side, ask questions targeted enough to keep us from like veering off to like the history of gender studies, like I really don't think that's going to be helpful. So, you know, it helps guide us a bit.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. There's notes in how I want to lead the discussion in the Google Doc, because generally I want to avoid having to interrupt you guys. So I put in there that I'm gonna kind of hope that I'll ask good questions and leave it up to you guys to sort of have a point to make. And that's one of the reasons I'm giving you all this beforehand, so you can do a little preparation on your own. So I encourage you guys to do like a little brainstorming on how you want to answer some of these topics like beforehand. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I just the thing that I want to, I mean, I'm sure you already know, but like don't underestimate your importance as a moderator.
Okay.
Because again, like since you're the one who's structuring all this and bringing it all together, you have the best idea out of everyone here of how you want this thing to play out. So like, if we need to shut up, you got to be like, yo, shut your face, you know, because you're the only one who knows that, you know, better than any of us.
Okay, so I think someone suggested that I do something like raise a finger if I want to butt in. And so I think that's what I might do.
It could be a bit more subtle, like it could be just you sort of like doing that. Because otherwise, you know...
Oh, these social cues! Ah!
Secret hand signals.
I don't know about using visuals to do that because, like,
we might not see it.
You're going to be down there when everyone else is talking, so we won't.
I mean, even if you have a verbal cut-in, like, you can just take that out in editing.
Safe banana.
So...
Okay.
But it's nice. It's nice to have a warning to sort of like if it's just like, oh, I should wrap this up. Like you don't necessarily want to be interrupted. You just want a warning to say that you've been going on quite a bit. Maybe it's time to sort of wrap it up.
Maybe you can use the chat
I like
for that.
I like the idea of sort of just some sort of signal.
I mean, there is a chat window if you want to use the chat to like if someone's talking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
I don't know how much people will be able to split their concentration if they're talking.
Well, I mean, if something pops up, it'll get your attention. Maybe.
Okay, like the one in the Google window or Skype.
No,
Probably
the Google
Skype.
window.
Oh, Google. Well, if you can use both at the same time for Google, like use that one.
So I'm going to type something in. So that.
Yeah.
But like,
because now I got Discord texting me telling me to shut my face. I gotta pay attention.
We kind of have to be careful to like be subtle ourselves, right? I don't want to be like, oh shit, what the fuck was that?
Actually, let's not overthink this. I'll just verbally cut in because if I type something in chat, that's another thing. Like, try to avoid actually typing and doing stuff like that because that makes noise, like keyboards and stuff, and it might be visually distracting. So I don't know. Maybe keep that to a minimum, actually.
In my experience, I've always managed to be, engrossed enough in whatever's happening that wouldn't happen unless Fighter is talking, and then I go
space out.
Oh man.
And just one thing to keep in mind is like because Google Hangouts does this automatic camera thing on whoever's talking, right? So like it'll focus on you even if you like bump your desk or clear your throat or just go So keep that in mind. I have a tendency to like go like when I'm listening to someone. So, but that actually makes the camera focus on you, and it's kind of distracting.
Right.
Just keep
like
that
I
in
keep
mind.
doing by saying right.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's okay. That's okay. But just keep it in mind, right? So if you like adjust yourself or there's some noise.
Oh, you mentioned another thing. You mentioned like clashing colors and stuff like that. So like with Digirose, like, oh, you had a white wall, and I was like, I guess.
No.
And you were trying to do your camera thing with the ratios on the side, and I was like, this is like photography class 101, right? Like, because when you first started and you asked us whether we could see you or how everything was going, your head was all the way, or if you were looking at the camera, your head was off to the side, and I was like, where have I seen that before? Yeah.
Okay.
It's something photographers do. So to get like, but there's nothing behind you, so it looked kind of weird.
Okay.
So yeah, just if we center stuff, do we really have to think about the backgrounds?
Well, I
Because
mean,
all of us have white, like Brony Curious has some stuff behind him, but that's cool. I have some figures behind me, but that's not so weird. But everyone else has like white walls, and I have
that's up
white
to you.
walls.
That's up to you, really. Just my emphasis is like don't put anything in there that's going to be distracting, like or that could cause noise, or that is going to not let your face show up. Because the last time we did this, Digi, for some reason, I don't know whether it was your cam settings or whatever, your face was just really whited out against the white background, and
Right.
you weren't contrasting at all. But now you're fine.
It was just whatever my lighting was. Right now I've got a window open, so it's like boom, set.
Yeah.
Last time
Might-
I was light.
Could I just say, like, Digi and Chris, especially, like, maybe you need to adjust your cams so that you can,
Right,
you
I
know,
will
we
be-
have, like, a shot of your, like, face and neck, sort of.
Oh, yeah.
Because this way, I kind of, what I see is like this. It's like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm
'Cause
good now.
I keep wanting to tilt my computer, and then I'm like, oh, that's excellent.
Yeah,
I
second
was
grade
just,
logic,
Keep,
yeah.
keep that pose as well, please.
Right,
Just like,
I'll.
yes, please.
I am Digibrony.
Do a little dust.
Y'all just constantly do this. Just keep changing sides, like. And for my next point.
You know, yeah, fine. That's fine by me. That's perfect.
And so I often forget that, you know, we all six of us have completely different experiences of the fandom or slightly different. So I didn't even realize that there were people out there who didn't know who, like, Final Draft was or what Everfree Network was, right? I mean, because from my perspective, they're really well known. But, yeah, I mean, you're an Australian.
One
You don't
thing
care
I've
about
learned
conventions in
from
the
my
United States. But
Like, is
Oh, I
that.
care. I just don't know.
Right.
okay.
Like, like from my commenters, I've learned that there are people who have heard of everything and people who have heard of nothing. It has
Nothing,
nothing
yeah.
to do with how big of a brony they are or who they know otherwise. They're just like, you know, like I wouldn't know Everfree Network by way of like actually watching anything on it because I haven't. I only know it because I know everything about the Brony fandom because I've gone to every website and read everything and done all the research. So, you know.
Yeah, so from my point of view, like, I've actually watched a lot of stuff on their channel, on their YouTube channel. So, because, I mean, their interviews with the show staff are really funny and really interesting, and they cover the conventions, and that stuff's really interesting too, actually. 'Cause it like allows you to go to the convention without going, sort of.
Right.
And they have great panels. So, in fact, I'll admit, like, a lot of some of the insights I have on the show come from watching their videos, and just seeing fans interact and seeing what the show staff has to say about stuff, things like that.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah, so hopefully, you know, I mean, I had one thing in here about, like, because this is being recorded.
I gotta derail this.
Okay.
So Clover, is that supposed to be like, what are there different versions of the Pinkie Pie like figures, or are they all looking like that? Because that looks like an old gen thing to me, honestly.
No,
That's a new one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is new, but I just can't
The toys.
get over how dissimilar the character faces on the show
It's
and
called
the actual
American Toys, Chris.
Yeah,
They-
the toys.
The way the characters are modeled in the show are not actually in any kind of proper geometric shape. They're just
Right.
designed to look
Well,
good.
see, Chris is an anime fan
dimensions.
like myself, and we're used to our figures that are like perfect $200 representations of what's in the show. So, like,
And
Yeah,
Hasbro,
it's pretty hard to
Hasbro had
do
no
with the
idea they
ponies,
were going to be
though.
marketing to a demographic.
But
that's
now-
interested in that. So-
Things
This-
may have changed now that we have the Japanese dub, so I'm keeping my eyes peeled.
Does
Although-
anyone play Team Fortress?
oh yeah.
Team Fortress 2? Okay.
no.
Not myself,
the
no.
whole like you can actually get mod packs and what have you, and like the Steam Workshop, the whole Source Filmmaker and whatnot. You've probably seen some of the videos where people have made pony models, pretty good pony models, and it's like it's possible to get some pretty show accurate 3D stuff.
Right.
So that
well, the vinyl
it's this far away from the toys.
Well, fan-made toys are great. I mean, what I've seen, it's just that Hasbro doesn't get the memo. You know, I mean, Lauren Faust on Twitter is often like complaining about the toys because she's interested in toys and she makes her own and stuff like that. So she's commented on like how bad Hasbro has been with that and that they're catching up.
It will be pink.
She actually didn't expect them to do anything show accurate, and she was kind of happy to see them actually try to start doing that.
Well, they outsourced it. Like, when they started doing the vinyl figures, which are, like, the most accurate ones, it's not made by Hasbro. It's made by this other company that's, you know, that's working with them. And pretty much everything that Hasbro has done that's actually for the Brony community is not done by them. It's done by other people that they, like, get to do it. Like, all the Brony-centric T-shirts are from We Love Fine. The Brony-centric like items, like the jewelry and stuff, everything they sell at Hot Topic, none of it's like directly made by Hasbro. It's all made by like other companies.
Does this speak to how little Hasbro understands what they've done?
Yeah.
Well,
I think we'll go into that.
I really don't think they get it.
Give it to them, you know. They were like, find someone who does know what to do and have them do it because we have no idea what the hell's how to appeal to these people. Get those guys who are like professionals at dealing with adults.
You know, like Hasbro
should write our own episodes.
If they can't do it, you know, don't do it. Outsource it. That's great. You know, allow for someone else to do it and do it well, rather than doing your crappy thing. I think that's brilliant.
So exactly why did Lauren Faust leave? I mean, she's the they outsourced to her pretty much to make them a show. Like,
from the extended interviews that I don't know if you or BC have checked the torrent yet, or maybe I don't know. It's weird, but
it had no seeds, and I don't do torrents anyway. So
all right. So the thing is that she basically saw the horizon and knew that at some point there was going to be greater tension, and just to cut her losses and just not have to deal with it in the future, she was just like, all right, like I know this isn't ever going to be like what I have in my head, so I'm going to gracefully bow out. So it was complicated because like I get why she did it, and of course like it's reasonable to do that so that there isn't some huge like I don't know blow up later. But it wasn't like Hasbro screwed her over. It wasn't like it was just mutual like
that's what I figured
agreement to leave.
From what I know, there's maybe a couple of other things also. Like I agree with that. I think she admitted in an interview at EQLA, I think that she left the show before she realized it was going to be really popular with an older crowd and that it was going to be a really successful show. And she didn't actually know when she left. And she actually expressed sort of regret. She almost said that if I had known it was going to be this popular, I might not have left. And she actually seemed like she was like, oh, I wish I could come back now. She almost said that. And you know, I think part of it was the fact that she was also really stressed because running the show is really stressful and really busy.
She doesn't live in Canada, doesn't she?
Yeah. She had to coordinate between the animation studio and LA. And everything else too. So I think it was stressful. I think she was afraid of her vision being contaminated later, and I think she almost actually lost faith that, you know, it was going to be popular, and she didn't think it really needed a lot more of her effort.
Yeah, the thing is, what's kind of silly to me is if you try to find that article that supposedly started it all, right? Not many people in the animation biz were openly contesting it, or they were, but they like tweaked the arguments. They're like, I'm not sure that like it is the end of the creator-driven era, and like maybe you should alter the argument a little bit to accommodate these. But nobody was ranting about it. Like, but now, like if you look at that article and see how bronies generally, and it's pretty much all bronies, react to it, it's all just like, ha, like MLP screwed, like proved you wrong, and I'm like, no, maybe it's still just the exception to the rule. So what was interesting about what Lauren Faust said in the interviews I was looking at is just that like she never really had a sense of like hating that article or disagreeing entirely with that premise. She just thought it was maybe like not as well researched as it should have been. So what that says to me is when she was leaving, and she didn't know, Neal, as you kind of went into, she didn't know that it was going to be popular. Like, she still had that animator mindset. She wasn't really thinking in terms of accommodating like people that weren't even part of the demographic.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
so she had that animator mindset, yeah.
Because when you think about it, like the article talks about the end of a creator-driven, animation, and what's happened to MLP? It's no longer creator-driven. Fucking Equestria Girls, So who really got the last laugh? Who got the last laugh?
That is a startlingly good point in all the worst ways.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I would actually not jump to that conclusion so fast. I mean, I'll agree that Equestria Girls was sort of an excursion into Hasbro marketing directives. But, I mean, it's not going to be canon. It's not going to, from what they've said, from what Megan McCarthy has said, for example, it's not going to affect Season 4. And, Hasbro still lets them have creative control of the show.
It's nonetheless something the creators didn't want. No one was, excited about it. They just tried to, they've made it clear, the people who worked on it were like, we did the best with what they gave us, but we didn't want to do it, It was just, well, I guess we're doing this then,
Really?
So who did the animation on Equestria Girls? Was it VHS or was it someone else?
Same guys who did
Get into Season 3. The development of that movie you wonder why Season 3 is so short. It's like, oh, there's your answer, Fishbulb.
Well, they wanted the 65 episodes for syndication.
Well, that's what we theorized.
Yeah.
But maybe we were wrong, because when I said that anyway, Equestria Girls was still a rumor that I didn't believe was going to be true.
But they are syndicating it now.
Are they?
Well, it's going on to other networks, right?
Is it?
They're packaging. Like they're shipping it. They're not U.S. networks, but they're giving it to other. Like that's why it's being dubbed in Japan. They gave Japan the 65 episode package.
I mean, they've already been shipping it to other countries from way before. It's not the same thing as syndication, I don't think.
Wait, so syndication is just like when it's on other random channels, right?
Syndication is when other channels buy the rights to air the episodes that have already come out. And ordinarily, for a kids show, particularly in a morning time slot, 65 is the number of episodes that they would sell to another network as a package. So when My Little Pony Season 3 was 13 episodes, the theory that was popular, and that I helped to make popular, was that they made it a 65 episode package, and then they could easily sell it to other networks for the rights. And then this would explain why at that same time all the episodes were getting taken down from YouTube, because other networks wouldn't want to air a show that was all available online. So it made sense. But if the theory, like I said, at the time we had no idea there was something called Equestria Girls that was going to be a movie.
Well, about the episodes being taken down from YouTube, like I'm seeing there's still plenty of them up there. So are they? Did they start tracking down?
It's all
re-uploaded.
Right, it's re-uploaded. It's an automated system that only operates every once in a while. So like basically every couple of months, suddenly everything will be gone.
Really? Okay, so because there are people who have posted the entire season in one video.
Right.
In HD.
It'll be gone eventually.
Okay.
You just gotta give it time.
But it always comes back.
It's always going to be re-uploaded.
Yeah. So why do they bother? Is my question.
It's a show of force, and because it also makes it harder to find them once they get removed. Because for a while, I legitimately could not find any episodes. Like I had to.
For a while, it was pretty bad.
For the sake of my videos, I had to bootleg them from Netflix. Like I had to put on Open Broadcaster and record myself streaming Netflix episodes in order to get them. So
actually,
this is why you should start torrenting.
Well, I used a program called YouTube Video Downloader. And so I download them directly from YouTube, and so that's how I have all the episodes.
Yeah, and if you use Firefox, it has an add-on for that too.
Yeah.
So it's. Did you, bro? Are you morally opposed to torrenting? Because if that's the case, I'm sorry for giving you that. Then. Are you morally opposed to torrenting?
I think he's frozen.
Oh. There he is.
He's back again.
There are two. I randomly got logged out of Google. I don't know why.
Wow. There are two of you right now.
Yeah, you cloned yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that happened.
Multiplying.
Just kick
Isn't it just magical?
I'm gonna eject the old one.
Yeah.
Do I want to block him?
He might disappear forever.
No, I'm not gonna block him. I like him. He's okay. He can stay.
So yeah, are you morally opposed to torrenting? Because I'm sorry for like giving you that. Just...
I used to torrent all the time, you know, because I was an anime fan and that's what we do. But at some point, because my friend actually got busted once for torrenting a One Piece episode, and they shut down his ISP.
Was it Viz or something? Was it Viz or?
It was Funimation still does One Piece.
Okay.
They're the worst about it. But
Yeah.
when that law got passed like a year ago, where it was like saying that ISPs were now allowed to like check your torrents and shit, then after that happened, we were like, you know what? We need to stop torrenting, because like I'm kind of paranoid about it, and my dad is definitely paranoid about it, and he didn't really know that like we torrent all this shit, and I feel bad because you know it's his ISP, so like it would kind of fall on him to know what's being downloaded on his network and stuff. And I was just like, there's other ways, so I just direct download everything now, you know, because like it's way less traceable, and it's usually faster anyway. I don't have to worry about seeders and stuff like that. So I just
I've been using Anime Take a little bit more.
Right, like
you can download stuff directly from there.
For like MLP, what I had been doing was I had just been ripping them straight from YouTube because they got uploaded in 1080p. So you know I have a YouTube downloader, and I was just downloading from there. But then when they all got taken down, all of a sudden, then I wasn't ready. I didn't have all the episodes. So rather than go searching for torrents, and I didn't know about Yay Ponies yet, so I just went and started bootlegging episodes, which is hilarious because I've got like the recording started from before I play the episode, and like you can hear my music in the background, and it's all loud and shit, and then it cuts into the episode. It's funny as fuck.
Brony Curious, I already forgot what you wanted to be referred to as. Was it Tom or was it Brony Curious?
Tom's fine.
Tom? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Tommy Oliver, which everyone thinks is his real name.
I know.
Are you okay with BC as well, or is not that?
You can call me dude. It doesn't matter.
Well,
You're only going to introduce the guy once, so it's not really... Well, once per show.
no, I mean just in the course of conversation, like if I want to call him for a question, so...
Tommy.
No.
Whatever. It's all good.
Okay.
As long as I know you're referring to me, you can call me whatever you want.
Right.
I don't...
Bombadil.
Yeah,
Okay.
fine.
Bombadil.
Admiral General Eladine.
What's up?
I still think it's hilarious that his internet handle is Tommy Oliver, and everyone just thinks it's his real name. And they're all like, everyone always goes, "Oh my God, you have the same name as the Green Ranger, and you're a Power Rangers fan."
Wait. Tommy Oliver's not your real name. I didn't know that.
No, yes. That's why when he did the Trixie video,
now that
there's
you
a...
said
yeah.
Green Ranger, I'm like, oh my God, he's right. That wasn't it, wasn't it?
Exactly, and everyone freaks out and goes, "I can't believe you have the same name as the Green Ranger, and you're a Power Rangers fan." And he's just like, think about that for a second.
Oh, because they said your name is Tom.
Occam's razor, guys.
So your name is
Occam's
Tom,
razor.
so I naturally thought that Tommy was your like.
So,
name.
okay, the story behind this, and I was going to do a video on this someday, is the reason my internet handle is Tommy Oliver is because my real name is Tom. But I don't like my real name. So, back before I got into ponies, I did like independent comics, and I went to a lot of indie conventions and like tried to like shove my shit comics in people's faces. And I used a different handle back then, and I won't tell you what it is because then you can find my work, and I would kill myself. But I would have it on the book, but I wouldn't be comfortable introducing myself as that name because it wasn't my actual name. So it's like I needed a handle that still is the same as my name, so I don't feel awkward introducing myself.
The camera is
so it's
spazzing out like crazy.
Tommy Oliver.
You notice how the camera just spazzes out like crazy because of random sounds, which is it's doing right now.
Oh, I thought it was just the poor connection or something.
Maybe it was that, but I think it's just like it's picking up random noises and deciding that someone is talking, which is annoying. But there's nothing we can really do about it, I guess.
We all just need to record in a vacuum.
Right.
Yeah. Soundproof rooms.
Yeah.
I'll go in my closet.
Get the egg cartons and whatever.
Well, get out the soundproof booth, Chief. No, Max, no.
Whatever that was lost on me.
I have no fucking clue.
Nobody watches Get Smart. Come on.
That actually leads into something.
That's the second most soundproof booth I've ever seen, Chief.
That actually leads into something that I noted in the Google Doc, which is that we will probably end up talking about experiences or referencing things that other people don't know about, and just how to handle that in the right way. So just kind of, if people don't know what that is, or you think people aren't likely to know what something is, just briefly preface it. Like, so like instead of saying like, so in Team Fortress 2, this happened, you'd be like,
in the seminal 1970s sitcom, My Balls on Ice.
In the seminal 1970s,
what happened to you in the 1970s?
Star Wars, Digi. It was a really good movie, Digi.
I love the joke of the seminal and the balls. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Are you getting mad at
Very
me
clever.
because I told you I wasn't much of a Star Wars fan?
No, I'm getting mad because you said you'd never seen Star Wars.
Really?
No, I've seen Star Wars.
I'm down.
I've seen it.
Really?
I just don't remember it.
Huh.
Hey, I'm in the same boat, man.
What kind of nerd are you?
I should. Ep5 was apparently the best one, and I just don't care about that film as much for some
You haven't
reason.
seen The Empire Strikes Back?
No, I have. I've seen them all. I just don't care about Episode 5 as much as I care about Episode 6, because it's just like the fight was cool. I like the end fight. All I remember from Ep5 was all I remember from Ep5 was Han Solo on ice. Han Solo on ice, and like they had and then the cut off hand thing. That's all I remember. And the fighting in the snow with the mecha. That's it all I remember really.
Not even.
I like how an
your
anime
father.
fan is like dismissing mecha. I find that.
Right.
That was cool.
I have a mild love affair with that movie, so to give you the alternate perspective.
And also the black guy in that was pretty funny
The
too.
black guy in that. His name is Lando.
yeah, Lando. Yeah, Lando's the
Really
man. Lando Kardashian.
God.
Is it Kardashian? Unless I got that term.
You said that on purpose. Come on, you know what his real name is.
Yeah.
You know what his real name is.
Well, yeah, it's Colorasian, but
Oh god.
yeah.
That was
But
a
it
good
sounded
one.
good, right? It would have made it good if I yeah.
Yeah, earlier when you were talking about who needed to narrate Brony Chronicles, I was like, they needed to hire Benedict Cumberbatch.
He would be great. He'd be great.
Benedict
That would be great.
Cumberbund. I call him Benedict Cumberbund.
Ex-Benedict Cucumber
Benedict.
Patch.
Cabbage Patch.
So somebody needs to Photoshop Kanye West's face onto Lando now from a screenshot of Empire Strikes Back.
That would be great. Somebody do that, please. Somebody do that.
Yo, I'm gonna let you finish, but The Empire Strikes Back was the greatest Star Wars film of all time, yo.
All time.
All time.
Needs movie walks.
We'll Photoshop Chris's face.
I am waiting for someone to make that meme. Make it happen. But yeah, we could continue to rant about Equestria Girls, because I know.
Do you really want to? With this
Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't say that Roni Curious lost it, but there was some point where people were like, people, just like relax.
I didn't.
Okay,
It wasn't
like-
even so much that I was mad at Equestria Girls. I was mad at how apologetic Theory was being about it and like sucking its cock. And then Equestria Daily started sucking its cock, and I was like, okay, I hate everyone around me right now.
There's this guy named Joshua
Oh,
Vita
man.
who talks to me a lot on Skype, and he like follows all the analysis people. He's apparently he was a big fan of Saber Spark especially, and he watched Equestria Girls in theaters, and pretty much it's his favorite movie of all time. He's just nothing but worshiping it. He thinks it's like the greatest fucking thing on the planet. And then when Brony Curious was like dissing it and Paleo were dissing it, then he was just like, fuck those guys. Like, he was like really mad that they were insulting the movie and getting all defensive about it, and I was like, dude, chill out, man. Like, just chill, right?
I think
And
we'll
then-
cover that in the discussion. We'll talk about like fan behavior at some
Right.
point. You know, like,
But, like,
people who take it too seriously.
He
That's
and I
something I
were
kind of want to talk about.
we were hanging out on MLP, the 4chan board, right? Because I've like started trying to go there to maybe like clear my, because they don't like me there, so I'm just gonna try to hang out and like guerrilla make them like me or something. And we were in this thread where somebody
You're
started.
gonna love me.
Someone had started this thread that was like based around me, because there was like someone who had been like made a troll video like just railing on me, and he was like, this guy sounds like an idiot. He's like, I don't like Digibrony as much as the next guy, but at least you could try to sound not try not to sound autistic when you're doing it, because they say everything's autistic on there. That's like their thing. And he was like, post a voice sample of your voice to prove that you don't sound autistic. And everybody was posting their voice samples, and I posted one, and I'm using my real name, like my name Digibro, on there, so they knew it was me. And then Saberspark shows up and posts a Vocaroo, it's the voice recording thing. It's like 30 seconds long, and it's just him going, yeah, Equestria Girls really sucked. You guys were right, MLP. I should never have made that video saying that you should judge it. You should save your judgment for after you've seen it. I was totally wrong. You guys were right. DHX screwed us over. And he just goes on this rant. And then that Joshua Vita guy hears it, and he just has not, literally, since 2 days ago, has not stopped flipping shit over it. Like, he was so insulted, because I guess Saberspark had said on Twitter that he thought the movie was okay, but not, like, great. But then he turned around and said this on MLP, and this guy just, he, like, unsubscribed him and shit, just because he sees it as, like, this giant insult that he, like, lied about this. And he's, like, been bugging him on Twitter and stuff. I was like, dude, you just need to calm the hell down. Like, it's not that big a deal. And he's like, I know, but I can't. I don't know what's wrong. Like, I'm freaking. It's like, I don't know what it is with me in this movie, but I'm obsessed with it. And I was just like, dude, just chill. He's like, I want to. I want to chill. But
you've fallen for a marketing ploy.
He was getting, like, legitimately stressed over it.
I mean, I don't even care if it was a marketing ploy. I just, hey, yeah.
Cool story. Deserves applause.
Will we have sound effects? We should get a laugh track. We should get a laugh track.
We have this.
You mean like that?
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Thunder
What?
effects.
What the fuck did
Thunder
you pull
effects,
sound?
Google
Are you
effects.
telling me that there's like toys in this
Yeah,
program?
yeah. About that, let's not go crazy, shall we?
Wait.
Oh god.
Holy shit.
This is
I
the
had no
best.
idea there was a sound.
We have
Since when?
custom
Yeah,
ones or what?
You
Oh.
can
I
also
knew
like,
about the hats. I did not know about the soundboard.
yeah, you can also include like YouTube videos or even desktop like capture, screen sharing over there. None of which I think we're going to be using.
Almost makes me wish I hadn't switched to Bing. But, yeah, I did make the switch. I'm generally just not fond of Google anymore, but I guess that's no secret.
Right.
Generally, people don't like that.
Is that the Inception
Yeah,
sound?
it's the Inception
Is that
sound.
actually in Google? Oh my god.
How can you hate Google? They have the Inception sound on the soundboard.
Yeah, there are a bunch of geeks over at Google, so they do stuff like that. I wouldn't.
What is that on your
They're like to
face,
have fun.
Tommy?
It's a monocle.
How the...
I'm just remembering I remember when Digibro sent me the video for University Days, right?
Right.
This story couldn't be. I thought you were gonna finish it. Your line about how the story couldn't be classier if written by a monocle.
Oh, this story couldn't have been written with more. No, shit.
Yeah, see, you gotta keep track of your lines, man.
The Lyra and Bon Bon subplot couldn't have been classier if it was written by a fucking monocle, something like that.
Monocle wearing tea drinking gentleman.
Right.
It's
It was
awesome.
just a popular line from one of my videos. I figured out that anytime I use a swear word that's like placed at the right moment, everyone's just gonna fucking love it. Like anytime I say fuck at just the right time, all the comments on the video is just people.
People do love it.
Line.
You know, one of the things I like to do. I mean, this is kind of getting into what we might talk about tomorrow, but like I love watching reaction videos, and you know, like people reacting to the episodes or like chat reactions.
Right.
You guys know about those? Like there are people who do like chat reactions and put them on
Yeah.
YouTube.
I remember. Yeah, I mean,
The ones I watch are like the actual Bronies react videos because they're all edited and nice.
Yeah.
It's
But
all
it
these
is-
cool people, you know.
It is funny, and it's both funny and insightful to see how people react the first time they see an episode.
Right.
It's like how it mirrors what you do or how it's different. Some people are just like screaming obscenities the whole time. It's just like just people waving their arms for attention, and you know they're like overreacting with curse words or whatever. But it's like kids at the back of the room saying, you know, penis or whatever. But you know, other times it's it's quite interesting how people react to stuff. But
I mean, before Bronies react, I don't really, unfortunately, I didn't have much experience with reaction videos, except like when it was like porn. Like there was that 2 girls, 1 cup thing, and then, like everyone for like, I think this was 06 to 07. Everyone was posting crazy.
I would like to know.
Everyone was posting like their reaction videos to that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but yeah, unfortunately, I never really had any experience with that. So I was just like, Bronies React brought it all back to me. You know, it's crazy.
I mean, one of the funniest videos I ever saw was the reaction video to when Derpy talked in last roundup.
I've seen that.
That was hilarious.
I haven't. I gotta look that one up.
Yeah, it's
not a live reaction. It's from because if you don't know, every time a new episode comes out, there's a bunch of huge live streams for it where people will broadcast the episode and there'll be like a whole chat, hanging out. I always do the BerryTube ones because it's a bunch of people who drink all night and like marathon the whole show and then watch the new episode. So when the Derpy episode happened, mind I wasn't around for that. I wasn't in the fandom yet, but there's videos of the chats like when that happened, and they just fucking explode. It's like hundreds of comments all of a sudden. Just
that's what this was. That's what this was.
Oh shit!
This was a recording of that, like put on YouTube. Yeah, and it was. And at the time, the funny part was when I first saw that, I had no idea what the hullabaloo was. I didn't know what Derpy was. So what?
Anthony just. What were you saying, Anthony?
The Derpy talked in the last round. Is that the one where they go and get Applejack because she's left?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'm mistaken.
I don't know what went wrong. Wait, no.
Right, okay.
I just don't know what went wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't know what went wrong because she's a boy.
Yeah, there were comments in the chat that were like, Derpy's a guy?
Well, that's the thing. Tabitha thought Derpy was a guy. And that's why she had boys. It was beautiful. It was a derpy-eyed character with a derpy voice.
That's like A&Y's. That's like A&Y's gripe about like how all of the, googly-eyed people have funny voices and they all tend to be guys. And it's like, why are all the guys the ones that look like, you're trying to signal them as, I don't know, mentally challenged or disabled or something?
Well, that's actually one of the subtopics for one of the episodes. So let's.
Well, okay. Let's steer that away from that one, but
that'll be in the gender episode.
Right.
Do you want to do a practice?
Well, this kind of has been a little bit, actually.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I kind of have to.
Go. Yeah, no, that's totally fine. I didn't expect this to go on for more than an hour, really, but if you have to check out, that's fine. And are you okay with the time tomorrow?
It's the same time, right?
Yeah, same time.
Because this is what I thought. I thought it was going to start at 8 p.m. my time, but then I sort of looked on the internet and I was like trying to calculate stuff. And it's like, oh no, it's gonna be 9 p.m. and then it works out that it is going to be 8 p.m. But now I've got it, so it's 1 p.m. for you, which is the same as we started now, which is 8 p.m. for me.
You're in a UK time zone, right?
No. I'm on the continent, so.
Oh, okay. I was actually on the impression that you were in the UK or something.
No, I'm in Hungary.
Oh, okay.
Where I live.
Okay, that was my mistake. I just didn't.
This is a truly global experience.
Right.
I used to live in the UK. I lived there quite a while, but yeah, I'm back home, but possibly going away soon again. I don't know. Right. Okay. So I'll probably check out. And so we won't start shooting right away, I guess, will we?
Choosing
There'll
what?
be setup, I assume, right, Neal?
Oh yeah. I mean, we'll get into the video chat and then I'll click start broadcast when we're ready to go. Okay. But I mean, even then, if there's like stuff at the beginning that can be edited out, so. I'll try to start off the episode.
I'll have a longer time available tomorrow, so I can stay
great.
till whatever. It's just a school night,
Yeah, no, totally. Thanks for coming by.
Right. Well, I shall see you tomorrow.
Right.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Yep.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Peace.
Bye. All right. So yeah, actually, I would have covered this. If this is in the Google Doc, which is another reason why I want you guys to read it again. But in the course of this series, we'll be revisiting topics. I mean, that's inevitable.
Right.
Some things we talk about in earlier episodes we'll talk about again later. So just remember that that's fine, but remember that the discussion is always going to be guided by the overall theme of the episode. So say we'll talk about the characters in probably every episode, in some degree. But in the first episode, we'll be focusing on like how the characters are funny. Or in the second episode, we'll be talking about how the characters, why the fans like them, or how they relate to the fandom, or something like that. In the third episode, we'll talk about how the characters mess with gender roles or challenge stereotypes. So you see what I'm saying? Oh, is the sound gone?
No.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
I'm always hearing like a echo or something. So any comments on that? You guys get what I'm getting at there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read over the doc last night, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some research.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah, I mean, the first episode should be more about like our personal experiences. So like doing oodles of research isn't huge for the first episode, I wouldn't think. I mean, just your own personal knowledge of the fandom and what your own experience with how you got into it and why you like it is fine. So I did that intentionally. But the later episodes, brainstorming, looking at stuff, researching, that's fine and encouraged. All right. So, and I don't think we'll talk about Equestria Girls. So if you guys want to talk about that more, it's fine.
I haven't seen it yet, so I have.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay.
You're really excited about like the release date, right?
It's like it comes out like 2 days before my birthday, so like that Joshua Vita guy was immediately like, "I'm gonna buy it for you," because that's like what he does. Is he just like buys shit for people? So he was like, "I'm gonna buy it for you," and I was like, "Well, I hope I don't hate it and make you like kill yourself or something." Because you're so freaking out about it. Like,
wait, what did you put in the chat, Chris? What's that?
Oh, a Twitter for a Lando Kardashian account. They literally they cut out Kim's face and they just put Lando's face in. So
my God.
They actually did it. Oh my God!
They finally did it.
Well, it's over.
It's finally happened. I'm gonna leave the fandom.
Internet is over. I quit.
Did you guys see the Saber Spark? I'm gonna leave the fandom thing. That humorous video.
Saber Spark's quality. I like his stuff.
Thinking about. Go ahead. Someone seemed like they were about to talk.
Yeah, I actually just had a question about Saber Spark and like Paleo and them. So like, you guys said you don't really watch Everfree Network or anything. So that's kind of where I thought Saber Spark and Paleo were most active, other than their own channels.
Well,
so
They are. I mean, they host Brony Breakdown, so that's kind of their bread and butter.
Which I've never actually watched, but I know they do it.
I've tried to watch it before, and it just was like, because it's very like just like whatever, they're just like kind of talking and like watching clips and talking about random subjects, and I just found it very boring. And they're not interacting with the chat or anything. I hate being in a place with a chat and the people aren't reading the chat, because I always try to say something in response, and if someone's like thinking, "Oh, what was that episode called again?" and there's like all these people in the chat saying the episode name, you just, "Oh, well, I don't remember." It's like, why have that there? You know? But
if you get too authoritarian with the chat, it just backfires. But if there's too much data on it, you can't. It's just annoying to read it.
Yeah, Everfree Network chat is fucking crazy. Like you can't even read anything in it because it's just people talking constantly. None of them are even responding to one another because it's just a wall of stuff happening. It's horrible. I don't get it. But
live streams are different, but when you're doing something that's like, I don't know, trying to get more people engaged actively, it doesn't make any sense.
Right. I don't think they necessarily are. I think they're mostly just intending to be a live stream show, but just the fact that there is a chat makes me want to interact with the chat. But altogether, their show, it just seems like it's kind of random. I don't know. I only tried watching it like once or twice, and I didn't really know what was going on. And
the show's basically designed to like highlight content, new content from that week or the last couple weeks. So they just highlight like songs and then videos, because I've seen it a few times.
And it's a lot of like, because they just like straight up will play the video, right? Like they'll just like stop talking and play the video, and
that's the impression I get. You know,
they
like
play for like a minute or so. Unless it's like a short clip, they'll play the whole thing.
It's just kind of like they're just happening to talk, and they just happen to be streaming it. So if you're interested, you can tune in.
Yeah, it's like an aggregation of some of the best stuff that's come out.
Yeah, I have watched their like collections of like him and Jay Haller do the best top Brony videos.
Right.
I do check that out from time to time. Because
I mean, like besides the fact that they're on Everfree Network, you also just have to remember that Brony Curious is really good friends with both of them. So beyond like watching their videos, we just kind of know them, and that's also why we've like heard of them and stuff.
How do you know them though? How did you first get to know them?
Paleo messaged me because he read Sister Who Slighted and liked it and wanted me to be on Brony Breakdown. So we got to talking.
A fan fiction or?
It's a picture book that I did
about
Scooby-Doo. So it was like my first big project, quote unquote.
This can be practice for when we're talking, because like you're going to reference stuff that I had no idea about, so maybe like get in the habit of which was a fan fiction I wrote, you know, that kind of thing.
That was the first big project I did, and it was a 70-page picture book designed to be what would Scootaloo be like if she had an episode, because this was last year before she got Sleepless in Ponyville. So I took like 4 months and made that book, and he liked it and wanted me to be on Brony Breakdown. So I was on the show, and for some reason that was the only show that didn't end up getting recorded, so no one has ever seen it other than the people who watched it live.
Wow.
The lost tapes.
Yeah. But we just like hit it off and like started talking, and he's like introduced me to like it's almost everybody except for I think DigiBrony and the analysis people that I know in this community I've met through Paleo, because he just always is like, you should talk to this person. You should talk to this person. Right. So yeah, I know a lot of people through Paleo as well, and it's interesting because I've like Digi's on in EQD, like in the EQD circle, and so I know like EQD's perspective on things, and then I've talked to Paleo and I know Everfree Network's perspective on things. I'm just like, interesting,
right?
Because they have a war going on, a silent battle constantly being waged.
I didn't realize. Like,
we talked a little bit about that last time, right?
Like it's not even really silent. It's kind of a loud battle.
It's more cold than it is silent. It's just like, we'll just take this and you take that. And then they just keep doing that.
Tolerate.
Actually,
and it's so funny because like Equestria Daily is America, and like it you have like Everfree Network, which is authoritarian, so it just completely works.
Everfree Network is authoritarian. Yeah, it's like a democracy, like in the worst sense of the word. Everyone talking at once.
Everyone is equal, but some people are more equal. So we'll accommodate those guys. That's a line from Animal Farm, but
so everyone even knows about this. It seems all of you know about this feud between EFN and
I didn't for a long time.
I know of this feud more than I know of Everfree Network.
Okay, that's kind of ironic, yeah, because you said you didn't even know about Everfree Network, so I'm like, how do you know about the feud?
Every pony, calm down.
Can't we all just get along?
Get along.
Not when there's money involved, apparently.
Any of you ever played the video game Red Alert 2?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Red Alert 2. Oh yes.
Yeah. President.
Where's that from? What's the
Yuri's Revenge? It's from Yuri's Revenge in the intro video when he's talking to Yuri and trying to like buy time, so he puts on like the Smarm offensive.
Oh, the Smarm.
Like, what if I was to offer you a full pardon? The country needs a leader. And he's like trying to buy him off. Oh god, that was a great game. That's the only reason I ever torrent, is to like get old retro games that I used to play and don't want to pay for anymore.
Oh, I'll torrent for good old games.
Yeah.
I still would just direct download them. You don't need to torrent.
Well, if they're hard to find or whatever.
I just torrent for patch downloads. You know, like I just want this entire show in one go. Like a good example of that is I downloaded all of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and just like click, and then like 5 hours later, I found it.
Have you watched
5 hours later, you watched it.
I haven't watched it yet.
No.
I haven't watched anything. The only anime that I've watched recently, besides watching Attack on Titan every week, was my sister's like, you need to sit down and watch Polar Bear Cafe. So we watched like an episode of Polar Bear Cafe last night. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. That show is
What is that show?
It's just, I don't even fucking know. It's about
it's a slice of life show. It's like really low key show about this polar bear that runs a cafe, and there's like a bunch of other zoo animals, and they all talk, and they're just like there, and the humans can talk to them and stuff.
And they don't
it's just like
explain why.
really relaxed.
It's just like really chill. It's like
So it's that
you just-
Iashiki shit?
Yeah, Yashike.
Yeah,
And like the panda's the main character, I guess. I only watched one episode, and he gets a job working as a panda at a zoo.
Right.
So it's just like, so he gets paid.
Seems like the kind of thing that like people would talk about when high, but I don't really.
Doggy, you didn't watch it, or Chris?
No, I didn't really watch. I didn't watch. I stopped really following shows. I think in late 2012.
Yeah, but
Which I think is when it started.
last year.
The weirdest thing about it is that the guy who does
50 episodes now.
the voice actor for the polar bear is Maxima Shogo from Psycho-Pass, who was like a psychotic killer, and he doesn't change his voice at all, so he sounds exactly the same. So I'm like, this is what happens after he gets shot at the end of the show and dies. He got reincarnated as a fucking polar bear and runs a cat.
Oh, don't get Digi started on his theories with this. Like, remember, because you've talked a lot about sort of like how Seiyu. I mean, they don't get recycled, but they either have extremely like similar characteristics or extremely opposite characteristics.
Oh, you mean my theory of like Seiyu all looking like all their roles look the same?
Yeah.
This dude,
Yeah.
he's
You should see this, like, because what I did, it was, I have this, like, supernatural ability to predict who because it started with, we were watching, what the fuck was it, Beyblade? I think I was watching Beyblade on,
yeah, you said it was
Cartoon
Beyblade, yeah.
And, I was watching it, and the main bad guy or whatever was on screen. Mind you, I'm on Cartoon Network, so it's dubbed. And I looked at the guy, and I said, this guy looks like he would be voiced by, fuck, what's that dude's name? He's in literally everything. Fuck, I don't remember his name. He's a guy who's like an extremely popular voice actor. He's been in he's actually had the most voice roles of anyone on Earth. But, I just looked at this character and I said, I bet that guy's voiced by that guy.
You probably do a quick Google search if you're trying to remember something. Like, say if that happens in an episode, maybe.
Yeah, it says
Hello,
Koyasu
Takahito.
Takito.
Yeah, there you go, Takahito Koyasu, and he's in like absolutely everything. And I just looked at this character and I said, he looks like he'd be voiced by Koyasu, and I was right. I looked it up and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I just like predicted this guy's voice actor based solely on his looks and personality. And then I realized it's because the character had he had a long face with a sort of long nose. And
hey, sorry, I'm actually going to cut you off for a second.
Okay.
Well, I mean, unless you guys have any other questions or concerns or anything, I think I'm going to go eat lunch as I'm a little hungry. But it was great talking with you guys. And if you have any questions, just Skype me or whatever.
Okay.
And I'd love to talk. Actually, I might just end the broadcast, but I don't know if that kills the video chat or not.
I don't think
So
so.
I might.
It just means it won't be recorded anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the recording, and yeah, so you guys can just keep talking. But,
All right.
all right, so see you tomorrow, I guess. But I might stay on the video chat. I don't know. It's kind of fun listening to you guys, but I want to get something to eat.
All right.
So I'll go make a sandwich. All right,
Okay.
ending broadcast now.